What is going on, guys? I am Wh1te Black. I am here with another video. Salute to everybody that's tuning in. I want to speak about Jemele Hill. I've spoken about Jemele Hill here and there, but it's been a while since I actually made a video about her. It's because she's kind of just went about her business. I mean, she does say certain clickbaity things on social media. I think I made a video about her maybe a month or so ago, when she supported one of those ESPN hosts, getting super political. But be that as it may. But I'm speaking about her now because she has gone viral once again with a blog post that she wrote for the Atlantic. Apparently, she wrote a post for the Atlantic, that's where she's at now, speaking about why black athletes should stop going to these Division I NCAA schools and why they should go to HBCUs. Let me just say something right here. This is the same woman who cares about black athletes so much, but she's the same one who agreed with a person who said that black men are the new white men. And she agreed with it. She supported it. But now all of a sudden, you care about black male athletes, to be precise. People, this is just another example of trying to bring politics into sports, but into college sports. Listen, man, a lot of these highly recruited high school athletes are not going to go to HBCUs unless they have to. Now, she wrote this post for the Atlantic. Okay, I'm not going to read the post, but I'm going to read an article that was written about it from the Washington Examiner, because some of these particular sites have actually been calling her out, But let's speak on this particular one. Jemele Hill, most known for her feud with Trump, which led to problems for her at ESPN, published a new article at The Atlantic arguing that it's time for black athletes to leave white colleges. Now, this is the same Jemele Hill who went to Michigan State. She didn't care anything about going to an HBCU. She could have went to an HBCU, but she's like, nope. She wanted to get that Michigan State degree, but she's like, don't follow my path. Go this lesser route, because HBCUs are the lesser route. Let's just be real. They don't even get funding like that. They had to go to Trump to get funding. Let's just be real about it. Hill argues that predominantly Caucasian universities have lured black athletes away from historical black universities with newer facilities, larger fan bases, and a better chance of boosting their own name recognition. Okay, what's wrong with that? What is wrong with these 18-year-olds, some maybe 17 or 19, choosing to go to a bigger name school because, one, it's going to build their own profile so that even if the NFL doesn't work out, they've built a following from their loyal college fan base, and even from casual sports fans who may have seen them make a play on TV. They also have a better chance of getting into the NFL, and that's what these guys want. They want an easier route to the league. They want to be seen on TV. They want to be in national televised games. Even though I've seen ESPN highlight HBCUs, but not a lot of them get highlighted. Some get highlighted, but not a lot of them. And I'm just like, okay, these young guys want that name recognition. All you got to do is go look at their Twitter handles. These guys want to be stars. They want to be celebrities. They want to be seen. They want to play against the best of the best. And they're going to go to majority Caucasian schools, or they don't have a large population of blacks at those particular schools. But if you look at the makeup of the particular athletes, make up a big portion, actually. Black athletes have attracted money and attention to predominantly Caucasian universities that showcase them, she writes. Meanwhile, the melanated colleges are struggling. Alabama's athletic department generated $174 million in 2016-2017 school year, where the HBCU that generated the most money from athletics last year, Prairie View A&M, bought in less than $18 million. Beyond sports, the average HBCU endowment is only 1/8 that of the average predominantly Caucasian school. Taken together, all of the HBCU endowments combined make up less than 1/10 of Harvard's. Once again, that's a different alumni base. Look at the alumni base of Alabama. All those millionaires, multi-millionaires, some might be billionaires. I mean, Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, is an alumni of Auburn. I mean, imagine how much money he's pouring into that university. You know, look at Phil Knight with Oregon. Look how much money he's putting into that into that school. What she needs to be pointing the finger at is these alumni who may or may not be putting money into those historical black universities. You're pointing the finger at the athletes and saying, listen, you need to leave those schools alone. They don't have your best interests at heart. But what she's failing to realize is that the athletes that end up going to those HBCUs, let's say those Division I black athletes decide to go to the HBCUs, that's going to push out the guys who got the scholarships to go to those schools who couldn't get into a D1 school, who didn't want to go to a junior college, you know? And that's going to push them further out. But she doesn't understand that. She doesn't understand numbers. She doesn't understand the fact that there's only but so many guys you can have on a roster, you know? And in fact, there have been a lot of NFL players who went to HBCUs, but she doesn't bring that up. There's a lot of millionaire athletes that have went to HBCUs, okay? The NFL looks at the HBCUs. Those players are not being overlooked. Trust me, they're being scouted too if they're good enough. As a matter of fact, one of the best young players in the league plays for the Colts. I can't think of his name right now. He's a linebacker. He went to South Carolina State. That's a historical black college here in South Carolina. Okay? And I believe he was second or third round pick. Started day one. So those guys are getting looks. I think what this is about is pocket watching. What this is about is they always want to put the pressure on these young men who are just trying to help themselves get out of some of the worst situations, to better their life, to better themselves socially as men. They're trying to bring politics into college sports. And this is what's sad about this, because Jemele Hill knows herself that they're getting the best opportunities by going to these particular universities. She went to Michigan State. She's a hypocrite. She didn't care about going to HBCU. I'm pretty sure that she got letters of, not letters, but I'm pretty sure that she would have gotten an opportunity to attend a HBCU and she rejected it because she didn't want to go. Okay. Let's see. Hill goes on to call the decision for black athletes to choose a predominantly Caucasian university over an HBCU as obvious, citing their chances of making it to the pros and winning lucrative endorsement deals. However, she posts the question: what if a group of elite athletes collectively made the choice to attend HBCUs? She answers that question, explaining that if it were to happen, it would have a potent downstream effects, including boosting HBCU revenues and endowments, stimulate the economy of the black communities, while also amplifying the power of black coaches. Well, listen, I don't care how good of a player you are. This isn't basketball. Well, she might be talking about basketball too. I'm focusing more on football because when she spoke about Alabama, I'm pretty sure she's talking about football. No matter how good of an athlete you are, if you don't have a good coach, you don't have good facilities, you're not going to be able to recruit and you're not going to be able to win football games. That's just the truth. Just because a guy goes to Alabama does not mean he's going to make it to the NFL. Just because a player goes to the University of Texas or USC or Clemson, that doesn't mean they're going to make it to the league. There's a lot of HBCU players who made it to the NFL. Okay? And these players know this. So even knowing this, they still go to the D1 schools because they get the exposure and they're going to get good coaching. These players are not as unintelligent as she thinks they are. These guys do research. They look at depth charts. They look at the coaching history of these guys, the wins-loss record, how many guys are getting drafted, the progression, are those players developing. These young kids know this. This is why they choose to go to the schools that they go to. Some end up going because they just like the personality of the coach. They like the school that they're at. They're there for the experience. They don't really care about getting to the NFL. Hill, who previously was at ESPN, was caught in hot water while at the network after she called out Trump on social media during the height of the president's feud with the NFL over kneeling during the national anthem. She also called for a boycott of the Dallas Cowboys after team owner Jerry Jones threatened to bench players who knelt. Once again, people, take the politics out of the game of football. It shouldn't be there. We're going to see how long she lasts at the Atlantic, because if she's only good for writing, stuff about race, and that if she's only one-dimensional, how long is she going to last there? She's a one-dimensional writer, and I thought she had more talent than this, but obviously I was wrong. That Michigan State degree must not have gotten her that far. If she's this one-dimensional and she only wants to bring up the way that someone looks as how they should live their life. Not everybody lives their life like that, Jemele. I think you're the only one who really is looking at this as the way it is, because I'm telling you right now, Jemele, a lot of these young athletes don't care about building up a community, at least not right now. That is the truth.